FEMA, as you well know, is here for the individuals, for the homeowners and property owners and the renters of residents that were impacted by a tornado. And as you, if you don't know, they will be opening at Shaw Elementary at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, the 26th. But we had a meeting on Saturday, and I actually wasn't quite sure what the meeting was about, Faye, to start with. The township administrator and myself, and come find out, Faye was like, well, we're here too, and she is with the, what I call Disaster Survivor Assistance Team. And they're the ones, we posted this on Facebook Saturday afternoon. They are actually doing the door-to-door and canvassing. They'll have a different range of, 5 to 7 people, but they will be like she's dressed with FEMA gear on, and most importantly, ID. So if you can ask, and that's one thing she stressed, because with everything going on with IRS and Social Security, it's the same thing in person. People walk up and impersonate people. So I've asked her to come and just give a brief what they're here, what they're looking for, what they're going to be doing to spread the word. So take it away, Faye.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pete, for inviting me, and for you all allowing me to come. I've tried to get Mickey to do this, my partner back there, and she's too short. She couldn't see over the podium, so you're stuck with me. Actually, Mickey, if you'll stand up and show them your vest. Some people don't have the shirts. They came in, and so they'll have a FEMA vest on as their logo material. Yeah, come up here for the camera. And while she's doing that, I'll just reiterate, we are the Disaster Survivor Assistance Team. We are going door to door. You are. And our main focus is to get people registered. Thank you, Mickey. And get them in the system, get them started in the recovery process. We encourage everyone to register, homeowner, renter, if you have insurance, if you don't have insurance, if you lost a little, if you lost a lot, we can guarantee one thing: if you don't register, you won't get any help. So we encourage everybody to do that. I also would like to say that when you do register and you get your correspondence, whether it's email or in the mail, read the whole letter. It'll tell you if you were denied. If you have insurance, you're going to be denied initially, because FEMA looks to insurance. You've paid for that service, and for those people or the company to replace your belongings and help you rebuild. So we're going to look to them for that first, but you can submit your settlement. You can submit a contractor's estimate or a denial letter if they deny you, and then that puts you in play within the system of FEMA. You can call the 1-800 number. Thanks, Pete, for having that up there. Or they can go on disasterassistance.gov. When we go to a house and nobody's there, we leave one of these flyers. We carry iPad with us. We can register people at their door. We can look up their case and do updates and inquiries, tell them where they're at in the process and what to look forward to in the coming days. We had a gentleman yesterday who was a little frustrated, and we looked at his file and found that he's in queue for a inspector to call him, and that made him feel better, and explain the process, and so we can do that with the iPad. He mentioned the DRC opening. It will be open 7 to 7 days a week at this point in time. I encourage people to go there. As long as there's good foot traffic and the numbers are up and there's a need, it'll stay open. When they start getting just a few people coming in, it begins to look like we're not needed anymore, so they leave or they close it down. I guess if there's one thing I could really express, it's that usually when FEMA says no, or you're denied, or you are ineligible, any of those words, that usually means we need more information, which again is if you read the letter, then it tells you what we need. Other than that, I don't have anything else to relay to you. Well, I will add, we have a lot of folks who are displaced, and we're having trouble finding those folks. So we're trying to take some measures to reach out with a message to say if you're displaced, because they could possibly get rental assistance, even if they have insurance. If they're a renter, you know, the rental assistance could be a possibility for all those people who are displaced and don't have a place to live right now. And with that, I will take any questions.
Questions?
I must have done good.
So has a certain amount been allocated to be used in Greene County?
There is no allocation set. The pockets are deep. If you're eligible, you get the money.
Okay. How about demolition of buildings?
Okay, that is a local issue. FEMA looks at helping you to make repairs, replacement, or whatever of your home if you're eligible for that, but nothing to do with demolition, cleanup, or anything. And they don't. And the monies does not include labor. It's for materials only.
So what happens if the house is there and it's going to cost $20,000 to demolish it before you can build a new one, but your insurance is only paying for the new construction? A typical person wouldn't have an extra $20,000 to pay for that demolition of that house.
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, as I said, FEMA works to help repair or replace the home, and it doesn't include anything with regard to demolition, cleanup, or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. So,
Julie, we may get some answers from our next guest from the SBA.
Okay. And then, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
I'll think of it in a minute.
if you do, I'll be in the back of the room for a few minutes. I'm going to listen to Julie.
Oh, the stormwater, there has been so much destruction there. When a subdivision is developed, the developer plans the stormwater so that it works.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who buy the individual lots maintain it, and it still works to a certain degree. Now, it's been destroyed. The city typically doesn't go in and do stormwater on private property, but there's been a lot of disaster there. Is that something that FEMA does?
That's definitely out of my lane. If it is, it's not anything that I know about, but I'm not going to give you a definite, because I've never had anybody ask me that before.
Yeah,
so.
there's houses over there that are because we're having so much rain right now, and their neighbors' stormwater is messed up. Now their whole yards are flooding.
Yeah.
And so there's some critical stormwater issues out there that somebody's going to have to help with.
Right.
And it's not in our budget, so I'm just trying to
But
figure out how we're going to figure it out.
I wish I had an answer, but honestly, if I told you something, I'd be telling you a fib, because I don't know.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Anything else? In some cases, in a lot of cases, folks are referred to the Small Business Administration for different reasons. And Miss Julie's going to come up at your introduction and talk about that, so I'm going to turn it over to her.
Yep, Julie Garrett is the Small Business Administration. So I've asked her to come along. They are stationed, going to be at the same place at Shaw Elementary starting on Wednesday as well, but are currently and will remain at Beavercreek Chamber of Commerce, right? That's where you
Yes,
set up shop
that's
last
correct.
week. So actually, they were first on scene as far as being open and assisting people. So go ahead, Julie.
Yeah. So hi, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you. Can you hear me? I'm so
Yeah.
soft-spoken.
No, you're good.
Okay. So my name's Julie Garrett. I'm a public affairs specialist for the SBA. And I know a lot of people are thinking, what are you doing here? You're from the Small Business Administration, but I'm from the Office of Disaster Assistance. And when there's a disaster like this and it's declared by your governor, we come in and we help renters, homeowners, faith-based organizations, nonprofits, and businesses of all sizes, not just small businesses. And I have given you our paperwork, so I know you have that to look at, so I'll keep it brief. We have programs that help renters with up to $40,000 to repair or replace their personal items, including their cars. A lot of people don't know they should have renter's insurance. They don't really understand that, and so That's real important once they lose their possessions in a disaster. And the interest rates are really low on these loans. They're as low as 1.938% for homeowners and renters. Homeowners can borrow up to $200,000 for their uninsured and underinsured losses. So a lot of people here have insurance, but when they get their settlement, it might not be enough to do the work that needs to be done. You were talking about demolition earlier. I'm not sure if we cover demolition, but I believe I've heard in the past that that is in a lot of contractors' estimates. So perhaps I can find that out for you and let you know. I'll email you on that. And then businesses and nonprofits and churches can borrow up to $2 million. And that is for a combination of working capital needs, like businesses that had to shut down because they didn't have electricity or gas for a while, or just too much chaos and they had to close. They can get funds to just keep the lights on and keep open, and also to help with their uninsured losses, especially if they didn't have business interruption insurance. So that's the program in a nutshell. A lot of people who are getting registered with FEMA will be told to apply to SBA, and they're going to be mad about that because they're going to prefer to get a grant, and we understand that. What happens is they get sent over to us. We see if they're eligible to apply for a loan, if they can meet the credit and income guidelines, which are lower than a commercial bank. But let's say they aren't approved or they can't do that, then we refer them back to FEMA for a program called Other Needs Assistance, ONA, and then they're up again for additional grant consideration. So it's a process that they go through, and that's a big message that we want to tell people: just go through the process. If they're approved for a loan, they don't have to take it. They have 60 days to decide to take it. If they turn it down, they have 6 months to turn their loan back on. So like later, if they get that insurance settlement, it's not quite enough, and 4 months from now they wish they had $10,000 more, they can turn their loan back on and get that additional funding. Another thing here for this area is people who apply for loans can get an additional 20% for mitigation. That's to make their homes safer. They could put in a safe room or a storm shelter if that would help. And it's real easy to apply. It only takes about 20 minutes. They can apply in person over at the Chamber of Commerce. They can apply 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, or they can apply at the Disaster Recovery Center that's opening at Shaw Elementary. That's 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week to start, or online at sba.gov, or you can call 800-659-2955, and we will send you a paper application through the mail. So I encourage people to go and do it online in person, because we have somebody there who can answer your questions and just help you get the loan in, the application in, and you won't have to worry about it after that. So,
What is the maximum household income for a family of two?
we don't have a maximum income.
So yours is based on poverty plus,
It's nothing like that with
Okay.
us. If you look at this fact sheet right here, the white paper.
okay?
If you look down at the bottom where it says home loans and the percentage rate, you'll see where it says no credit available elsewhere, 1.938%, and then credit available elsewhere, 3.875. So we do things differently than a commercial bank. We flip it. Like a commercial bank, the higher your credit, the more money you have, the lower interest rate you get. But we flip that. So let's say you have great credit, but you don't have a lot of assets. You would probably be more likely to qualify for that lower interest rate with us. Let's say you had tons of money in the bank, really high income, perhaps in a really good credit rating, perhaps you would be offered that higher interest rate. So that's how it works.
Okay, and for the camera, repeat those two interest rates again?
Okay, so home loans, the interest rate is as low as 1.938%, and that's for homeowners and renters. Business loans as low as 4%. And for working capital loans, it's 4%. And for nonprofit organizations, the interest rate is 2.75%. So all of this information is online, and you can call our 800 number. We've got lots of people there who can answer your questions. And I guess that's enough. I should
Fi-
stop.
5 months on the first payment.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were saying sit down. Like your 5 minutes are up, so. I misunderstood you. Okay, so a really great thing about our loans is there is a deferment on the payments. You don't pay the first payment until 4 months plus 30 days from when you sign the closing document. So in effect, you have about a 5-month window before you have to start making the payments. And the term is up to 30 years, so they're very reasonable payments. And if you've had substantial damage and you still have a mortgage, there's a chance of getting your whole mortgage and loan at that lower interest rate, getting it refinanced. Yeah, I've heard people say,
That's terrific.
yeah, I've heard people say they come out better once they go through this process in terms of their monthly payment, so.
That's an excellent benefit, thank you.
Yeah, this is a really good loan. It's no cost to apply, no points, no fees. It doesn't do a ding on your credit. Like, it's as good a loan as you can get, in my opinion, from watching this over the years, so.
I'm glad you're in Beavercreek.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, well,
I know I
thank
sat in
you.
your office last week, and we
Yeah.
talked, and it was quite revealing. I mean, I had no idea about what was going on, but I get the bottom line impression I got was anybody affected from the tornado should apply both places.
Yeah.
Don't think about it, don't say I don't deserve it. Apply at FEMA, apply at SBA.
Exactly.
You don't have to do anything with either one. You just need to get, in essence, get on file.
Yeah, I
So
heard, I heard somebody say I make too much money to apply for FEMA. Like, no, just apply.
Just do
They'll
it.
tell you if you do.
Right.
Yeah,
It doesn't hurt anything, it doesn't take a lot of time.
yeah. This is kind of a plan B. It's a little money in the back of your pocket in case you might need it as you're recovering. And there's no collateral if you borrow $25,000 or less. So it's a great loan. And we really want to help you, so we want to get you recovered as fast as possible. Oh yeah, you can also apply for a loan while you're waiting for your insurance settlement. Then you assign over your insurance monies to pay down your loan. So we can process the loans.
Oh,
It
that
takes
makes it
about
go
2
faster.
weeks.
Yeah.
It helps it go faster, because sometimes that can really get bogged down with the insurance company, so. Yeah.
It made a big difference for me sitting in the office, so any one of you might want to spend a half hour or 15 minutes sitting and talking to the staff over there, just to
Yeah.
get that clarity in your mind. It's, I'm still not 100% clear, but a lot clearer than I was when I walked in.
Yeah, we just think of us as FEMA and SBA working together. They do grants for short term. We do low interest loans to get you back to where you were before the disaster. We're to help you fully recover.
And if you don't qualify for SBA, you can go back to FEMA
Yes,
and
and try to get more
possibly
grant money.
qualify for something else. So
Yeah.
it's a two-way, it's a three-way street, really, but it, thank you very much. Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Do we have this on our website?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say, I really admire your community. You guys are working beautifully together, and everybody's been incredibly helpful and professional, and just great.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you very
Glad to hear
much.
it.
Thank
Okay.
you.